it's Jan Johnson, and again, thank you so much for tuning in. And today I want to talk to you about the environment, the culture we grow up in, and how that puts us in a position of being in a box that we kind of feel an inability to break out of. And people that you're talking to as prospects about coming into your business are in this box because of what culture has done to put them in the box. So how do these things get started anyway? And how do we end up thinking in a certain way? Well, let me take you back to my childhood. I grew up in Rockford, Illinois, Midwest town, average city, and I can remember a lot of things that I didn't question growing up. For instance, my mom would say, I remember her saying one time that, oh, she lives over there in that house or that neighborhood where doctors spend $40,000 for their homes. The first time I ever bought a car that cost $40,000, I can remember thinking, oh my gosh, this is the price of a doctor's house, because I remember my mom saying that. Of course, that was back when I was a kid growing up. But when you're in an environment, if you think about it, you heard the statement, oh, he makes good money or she makes good money, which is relevant to whatever situation that you're in. Some people grow up in an environment where in their family environment, they go to trade schools. Maybe they become an electrician or a tool and die maker or a beautician, and that's the family and the surroundings they're within. And maybe somebody breaks out in the family of that tradition and then starts it on their own, but it's hard for them because they're all on their own a little bit. But then maybe you grow up in an environment where you're someone who grows up in a family of educators, maybe a teacher, end up becoming principal, that kind of thing, work in the school system. And so the family and the children of that family grow up in that environment, and they take after their parents and they do that. Maybe even your family is doctors or lawyers, nurses in that environment. You get that education, go to college and go on and do that, and you see a lot of families, the brothers are all doctors or lawyers or whatever, because that's a family environment. That's what they grew up in. Maybe even artists, you see a lot of actors' children following in the actors' footsteps because they're in that environment. Arts, the field of arts is the same way. So what I'm saying is that there is a mindset that is dependent on and you're raised with, depending on who you are in the environment with. Now, let's talk about an example of a story that you can get someone to see, because how do these start? How do they get this way? I'm going to tell you a story of monkeys. If you take monkeys, a family of monkeys or a group of monkeys, and you put them in a circle, a big round circle of stones in a certain area. Big enough for them to all fit in, by the way, but you put them in this area and you give them bananas. And if one of the monkeys steps out of the circle to eat their banana, you throw ice water on them. Put them back in the circle. They step out again, you throw ice water on them. And you keep doing that. Another one steps out, you throw ice water on them. Until you've thrown ice water on every one of them, and they learn, because they're shocked by that, to not step out of the circle and eat their banana. Now you take one of those monkeys that has learned this out, and you put a brand new one in that's never been in this environment. No one leaves the circle. They're all eating their bananas in the circle. So does that monkey. Doesn't even try to step out. You're not even using the water now. Then you take another of the older monkeys, remove it, and put a newer one in. Now the two new monkeys are eating in the circle, neither one of them trying to leave. And you continue to do this until all of the old monkeys are out and the new ones are in, and none of them try to leave the circle. It's what's inbred in them. You eat a banana when you're inside of the circle. This is how culture is formed. Our education system doesn't teach us to be entrepreneurial and think outside of the box, or to try to make money of your own. Some of you might have grown up in an entrepreneurial family, but still maybe it's a restaurant business or that kind of thing where it's still 9 to 5 with employees. But thinking outside of the box and being able to earn money and have it come into you in a residual fashion is a way of thinking that's outside of the norm. And so realize this about the people that you're talking to, that they're just used to what they're used to. And you have to think of stories to tell them to think, oh yeah, that's true, really. I am just used to that. And you're opening their mind and telling them a story that'll maybe make them think. You got to get their attention. And stories get the attention. I hope this video helped you. And if it did, please comment and share. Thank you so much for tuning again. I'm Jan Johnson.